Iran's burgeoning and deeply alarming interest in acquiring China's J-10C fighter jets is far more than a simple bilateral defense transaction between two authoritarian regimes. It represents a momentous and dangerous escalation in a much broader geopolitical confrontation, one that strikes at the very heart of American leadership, global stability, and the rules-based international order that the United States has sacrificed so much to build and defend. For over 3/4 of a century, the United States of America has stood as the world's primary guarantor of peace, the engine of global security, and the catalyst for unprecedented economic prosperity. From the vigilant patrols of the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet ensuring the free flow of commerce through the Strait of Hormuz to the ironclad security commitments that underpin our vital alliances in the Middle East, America has worked tirelessly and selflessly to contain hostile powers, thwart the ambitions of rogue states, and prevent the spread of conflict and chaos. Iran's desperate and calculated effort to supercharge its antiquated military with cutting-edge Chinese technology is a direct and brazen assault on this profound legacy of American leadership, and it necessitates a response of unwavering strength, strategic clarity, and national resolve. The J-10C, known as the Vigorous Dragon, is no ordinary aircraft. It is the culmination of China's immense and single-minded investment in military modernization, a program explicitly designed to contest and ultimately supplant America's long-held technological supremacy in the skies. This aircraft is a formidable weapon, boasting advanced features that were once the exclusive domain of the United States and its closest allies. Its state-of-the-art KLJ-7A active electronically scanned array AESA radar system allows it to track multiple targets with high precision and resist electronic jamming, a direct counter to the advanced electronic warfare capabilities of U.S. forces. Critically, the J-10C is engineered to carry China's highly potent PL-15 long-range air-to-air missiles, which possess a range estimated to exceed 200 kilometers, a capability that outstrips many of the air-to-air missiles currently in the U.S. arsenal. This creates a terrifying new reality where an Iranian pilot could threaten American or Allied aircraft from distances previously unimaginable. Compounded by its thrust vectoring engines for superior maneuverability and stealth-enhancing design modifications, the J-10C offers nations like Iran a dangerously lethal, low-cost shortcut to fourth-generation plus airpower. For the regime in Tehran, which has been rightfully isolated from Western defense markets since the 1979 revolution and hobbled by successive rounds of powerful, U.S.-led sanctions, the J-10C is viewed as a silver bullet. Its acquisition would empower Tehran to project air power with far greater reach, agility, and deadliness, posing new and unacceptable risks to American service members, to our steadfast allies such as Israel and the Gulf states, and to the commercial shipping lanes in the Persian Gulf that are the lifeblood of the global economy. This looming transaction must be understood within the larger, chilling context of the emerging China-Iran-Russia axis of autocracy, a coalition of revisionist powers increasingly united in their hostility towards the United States and the free world. Iran's strategic alignment with Communist China is a deep and multifaceted partnership that extends far beyond a simple arms deal. It encompasses extensive technology transfers, covert intelligence sharing, expansive energy partnerships designed to circumvent U.S. sanctions, and increasingly provocative joint military exercises, such as the maritime security belt drills held with Russia in the Gulf of Oman. Beijing's willingness to arm the world's leading state sponsor of terror with a sophisticated weapons system like the J-10C is a crystal-clear illustration of how China is actively and deliberately working to dismantle the American-led security architecture. Let there be no ambiguity: China is not a neutral or responsible stakeholder in this equation. Its actions are calculated, strategic, and serve a nefarious long-term objective: to displace the United States as the preeminent global security provider, to erode the foundations of American deterrence, and to weaken the entire international order that America and its allies so painstakingly constructed from the ashes of World War II. China is willingly playing the role of the arsenal for autocracy, providing the means for rogue regimes to pursue their violent ambitions. The current state of Iran's Air Force is a testament to the effectiveness of decades of American policy aimed at containing its aggression. The Iranian fleet is a decrepit museum of pre-1979 American models, such as the F-4 Phantom, the F-14 Tomcat, and the F-5 Tiger II. These aircraft are, in many cases, barely airworthy, kept flying through a desperate process of cannibalization and reverse engineering, and their pilots lack the training, flight hours, and modern avionics necessary to compete with any modern air force. The introduction of a new fleet of J-10C fighters would represent the most significant and transformative upgrade to Iran's air power in nearly half a century. This would not be an incremental change, it would be a quantum leap in capability that would violently shift the regional balance of power. The J-10C's advanced radar and superior missile range would enable Iran to credibly threaten U.S. and allied aircraft, including critical support assets like AESA and refueling tankers, from standoff distances. Its multi-role capacity would allow Tehran to plan and execute far more sophisticated and devastating strikes against the military bases and critical infrastructure of our allies, to disrupt global energy markets by menacing maritime trade, and to provide more robust air cover for its network of violent extremist proxies in Syria, Iraq, Lebanon, and Yemen, further fanning the flames of instability across the Middle East. It is also fundamentally important to grasp the cynical and self-serving nature of China's strategy in this transaction. By arming Iran, China is not merely making a sale, it is purchasing a powerful and strategically located client state in the heart of the Middle East, a region where American influence has been the primary stabilizing force for generations. China's arms sales are a key tool of its statecraft, designed to cement long-term, dependent relationships with authoritarian regimes that share its profound contempt for democratic governance, human rights, and the rule of law. Beijing's defense industrial diplomacy is meticulously crafted to weave a global network of nations reliant on Chinese technology, weapons, and political protection. In doing so, China is not only pouring gasoline on the fires of volatile regions like the Middle East but is also actively erecting barriers to America's ability to build coalitions, enforce sanctions, and respond effectively to international crises. This is the hard power dimension of its Belt and Road Initiative, a neo-colonial project aimed at securing resources and influence at the expense of global stability. The United States must, and will, respond with the clarity, confidence, and resolve that has long defined our nation's character. First, Washington must redouble its unwavering commitment to our regional allies, particularly Israel, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. We must ensure they maintain and expand their qualitative military edge over any and all adversaries, including Iran. This means accelerating the delivery of advanced American systems like the F-35 Lightning II, enhancing integrated air and missile defense networks, and deepening intelligence cooperation through frameworks like the historic, U.S.-brokered Abraham Accords. Second, American diplomacy must relentlessly expose and condemn China's role as an irresponsible arms proliferator. We must work hand in glove with the European Union, Japan, Australia, and all democratic partners to impose punishing multilateral sanctions and stringent export controls on any entity involved in such destabilizing transfers. Third, America must continue to lead the world in defense innovation, expanding technology cooperation with friendly nations and ensuring that U.S. defense systems remain the undisputed gold standard for capability, reliability, and strategic value. An American weapon system is not just hardware, it is a pact, a partnership backed by the full might and commitment of the United States. Ultimately, the American people and our allies across the globe must recognize the monumental stakes of this contest. The struggle to prevent Iran from acquiring J-10C fighter jets is not merely about a piece of military equipment, it is about defending a world where freedom prevails over fear, where the rule of law triumphs over the rule of the jungle, and where international security is preserved through strength and unity, not ceded to the whims of tyrants. If the United States falters now, if we permit China to arm Iran without facing severe and overwhelming consequences, we will send a message of weakness to every authoritarian regime on the planet. We will signal that they can acquire advanced weapons, threaten their neighbors, and trample upon international norms with total impunity. That is not a future America stands for, and it is not a world we will ever accept. The United States of America remains, and will always remain, the indispensable nation, morally, economically, and militarily. Iran's pursuit of the J-10C, facilitated by China, is a stark reminder that the enemies of freedom are watching, they are coordinating, and they are acting with purpose. We must meet their challenge with greater unity, greater speed, and greater resolve. Through decisive American leadership, unshakable determination, and the powerful bonds of our alliances, we will counter this grave and growing threat. We will continue to shape a future where peace is secured not through the foolishness of appeasement, but by the undeniable strength of free nations standing together, resolute and unafraid.